Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Car Reviews podcast on CollectorCarCanada.CA. Just a reminder that we also have the Collector Car Stories podcast, where every week we talk to a fellow enthusiast, hear about his or her cars, the fun they have with them, and hear some of their tall tales from car enthusiasm. So do take a look at that. There's a podcasts menu item on every page of our website. You'll find it on the top right if you're on a computer, and it's in the first menu toward the bottom of it if you're on a phone or tablet. Today on the Car Reviews podcast, we're here to talk about CollectorCarCanada.CA lot 202. It's a 1954 Chevrolet pickup truck, and it's a really neat number. We'll get a little closer up to it so you can see it up close, but it really is a solid truck. And nice bright orange as well, finished with some black trim. So this truck is a straight six. It's got its original powertrain, 235 cubic inch straight six for the engine. The transmission is an old time 3 on the tree, so manual transmission shifted here on the column and driving the rear wheels. So that's a little talk about the powertrain. I'll switch the camera and we'll take a close look under hood. So we'll start at the business end of the truck, the 1954 Chev. There are 2 hood releases for the hood, but they're both outside the truck, so nothing in the driver's area, in the cockpit. So I'm not sure if the camera can see me releasing that or not, but it's amazingly easy to open up this hood. So there's the one release. And then another, which is a little more like we see in modern cars than the second one. And away it goes. And those hinges keep the engine up, or the hood up rather. So here's a good look at the 235 cubic inch straight six engine. Lots of space to work on in here, like a 50s truck, like you'd expect in a 50s truck. You can even make out the steering column coming from the cockpit. I really get a kick of this old Fram labeling from the 50s. Big rad. That radiator looks pretty new. This truck has undergone a lot of work since in around 2018, 2019. I was just taking a look at some of the service records and the maintenance records that the owner has packed into a 3-ring binder, and the binder's even orange with black trim, just like the truck. So do take a look at that to get a sense of the maintenance and the rebuilds that have been done on this truck. So we can see here we got 6 cylinders here, all in line, with 6 plugs with 6 ignition cables. Everything looks nice, new, and presentable. And that firewall looks good and strong. A couple chips in the paint there, but not where the eyes are looking. Oh, the owner wanted me to point this out too. I got a kick out of this when he showed it to me. He's got an old plastic peanut butter jar for overflow of coolant that's attached there. You can see that it's caught up a little bit of coolant. So rather than have it pop the cap, the pressure's relieved and the coolant just sort of escapes into the peanut butter jar. So we'll close her up. Really interesting hood ornament. They don't really make them like that anymore. So we'll get a look at the truck here. Maybe we'll do a little circle around the truck, talk a little more about the exterior. So it's got original style wheel covers, hubcaps there. Maybe we call them half moon style, with the chrome finish and the Chevy logo in each one of them. They're almost like a mirror. They're so bright. Really neat, interesting part of this truck. I've only called it a pickup so far, but we can see here Chevrolet 1300. Keen observers of GM trucks will probably know of the Chev 3100, and frankly I was a little confused when the owner told me he had a Chevy 1300. He has enlightened me. The 1300 denotes Canadian market trucks. So this car was built in Oshawa and it's been in Ontario almost its entire being. A lot of the history of the truck is in Chapleau, Ontario, according to the owner, and that's up near Sault Ste. Marie Way. So he speculates that it might have been put to work in logging camps up that way. Two-wheel drive only though, so rear-wheel drive. It's not a four-wheel drive truck. But yeah, just taking a look at some of the appointments. I really like that grille, and we'll call it a light bush bar. I don't think this truck's doing any off-roading. But as well as the blue bow tie logo, we've got Chevrolet in script over the grill here, and big round headlights with indicators down below, and a black painted bumper. The tires, they look pretty strong. Certainly they're we can see the tread down that way. I'll get a little closer to this front tread, but they're a Highliner brand. And I see a measurement there, 6.5 16. So the rim's 6.5 inches wide, and the diameter 16 inch. Try to get a better look at that tread, but yeah, lots of tread left on those front tires. There are exterior mirrors on both sides. If you're a keen eye, you might notice that they're at different angles. That's because if they were at the same angle, they wouldn't both be visible from the cockpit. So that's the reason for that. And then this running board, there's a Chevy logo on that running board, a nice touch. It's only on the driver's side. And with an orange truck, the owner wanted me to show off. He's got this oh how appealing little decal here. Well, not a decal, a little card just resting in the window. So as you can see here, there are windows on the rear at each of the corners, rounded windows. So this is a Chevrolet 5-window truck. You could make a case for it being more than that because it's equipped with the vent windows, but the vent windows are considered part of the door window. So a Chevrolet 5 window as it's known, and those vent windows are a nice touch to keep the air flowing. Another more recent touch is the visor on the front of the roof here, and this here is controlled by the inside. You can see I can just wiggle it a little bit. That'll bring some more air into the cabin as well. So back here on the box, the bed rails are custom built and they're made of oak, pretty darn solid. And we go back to the bed here. The box that's labeled Sun Tag there, that's going to be included with the truck. So that one goes. It's hinged at the back, so that top flips up. But the bed itself, its base is refinished pine. And if you're interested, take a look at our detailed listing where we have photos of the underside, and you can see the bottoms of those pine boards. So no metal underneath that wood. That's the base of the truck in the bed area. But when you look closely here, even those bolts look nice and new. The bolts and washers look nice and new. So very little use since installation. Nice Chevrolet logo on the back of the tailgate. Black bumper matching the front one. A single exhaust exit with a nice chrome look tip. And of course, to open the box, these get released. I might as well demo it. It's nice and easy. I've been around some of these older trucks where things get rusty and stiff, but this one's pretty easy. Easier with two hands, but I've got one hand holding the camera here. You release that, and the tailgate's open and resting on the bumper. So I'll just leave it at that. We do have a video of the truck reversing out of the owner's garage. I saw the brake lights work, and I saw the reverse lights. We also have some driving videos of the car from a trailing car, from a chase car, and you can see the indicators and brake lights in action. So a lot like the other side here on the passenger side. Nice clean gas cap and gas fill-up area, filler neck. And just we'll cruise around the rest of the truck here, and we'll take a look on the inside at the cockpit. Solid doors, easy releases with the latches. I'll demo these windows so that nice and easy to use that vent window. And same for the manual crank window. Very easy up and down. I'd say rivaling some power windows actually. Maybe that's an exaggeration, but better than the crank windows on normal vehicles, I would say. So a nice big 3-spoke steering wheel with the Chevy logo in the center. One thing I noticed when we were out for a drive is that the speedometer is not currently connected. I asked the owner about that, and he says he has a cable that just needs to be connected for that to function. You can see the 3 pedals there, being that this is a 3 on the tree car. There's a brake release for the brake that's down there on the floor. And an upgrade on this truck, I did mention the indicators in the rear. It would not have had indicators from the factory. So you can see this looks a little shinier and chromier than stock, and that's because these turn signals were added later. Nice solid bench. Solid might not be the right word. It's nice and foamy and soft, but enough support, certainly forward to back. You're not going to be doing heavy cornering in this truck, I don't think, so the lateral support's less of a consideration than it would be for, say, a Ferrari. 2 belts in the front, so another non-stock item. This truck would have been built without seat belts, and the 2 lap belts, sort of like an airplane style, are an aftermarket add-on. A couple other things I noticed on the passenger side we'll go take a look at as we can admire the 5-window formation. Those rounded pieces of glass are pretty cool. You don't see those in modern trucks. But over here on the driver's side, I wanted to point out there is a tiny crack here in the vent window on the passenger side. And I figured I'd also show you the glove compartment. While we're at it, I can show you there's just a compass installed there, so that'll stay with the truck. And this is actually an ashtray here. You push down below to open it up. Neat Chevy logo there, and that's a choke right next to the ignition. But the glove box, I just wanted to show you too that to get the glove box to close, you need to be pressing this button and it'll release. If you don't press the button, it won't lock into place, so you just press the latch to get it to lock into place. There's a dome light right up there, and another add-on. It's funny that modern things we have in cars today we might take for granted. No sun visors on this car, either outside or inside, or in this truck when it was built. So you can see that the owners installed the sun visor for the driver's side in addition to the exterior visor. So that concludes our look at the 1954 Chevrolet 1300 half-ton pickup truck built in Oshawa. Always fun to mention that when we're on Collector Car Canada. It's going to be lot number 202 on CollectorCarCanada.CA. So please take a look at the detailed listing. You're going to see lots of photos there. I think we're probably up around 200. And as well, several videos, both driving videos and walk around, and all kinds of documentation from restoring and maintenance. Mostly fresh from 2018 and 2019. So again, CollectorCarCanada.CA, lot 202. Please take a look at the listing, and don't forget our Collector Car Stories podcast. Thanks for watching, everyone.